What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And tonight, we will be talking about week 9 of Big Brother 26. And guys, don't adjust your screens. We have somebody new on the podcast for the season. Uncle Shane could not make it tonight. He has a dinner with somebody. And in his stead, we have Babe, B Lynch Thug Life.
Uh,
Bree, how are you? How have you been? What's been going on?
granted, we're right down the hall from each other, but I guess I'm the
Mhm.
next best thing to I'm no Uncle Shane, but you know,
Mhm.
happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having
You
me.
know, babe, you bring your own kind
Woo!
of flair, is what we like about you.
Thanks.
And we are so excited to have you. Patrick, it's always good to see you. How have you been? How was your week?
So far, so good. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, but I feel good. Had a good day at school today with the kids, so that was good. I'm very excited to talk Big Brother because we got a crazy week.
We have a crazy week to talk about. And before we dive into it, Bree, you are new to the BB26 coverage. But we did make winner picks, and so did you. And now, as we are sitting here today, you are the only one with your winner pick still in the game. Me and Patrick have officially lost both of ours in Joseph and Quinn. So talk about your winner pick in camp. Are you enjoying watching him?
No, not at all. I think he's literally just like sliding his way through, flirting his way through. I don't think he's a great competitor at all. And I saw that he had said he's never seen Big Brother before. So he's kind of just coasting his way through. I'm not mad about it, but
Mhm.
I don't think he is a great player by any means.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Also, this weird love triangle we got going on, I have had enough.
yeah.
Listen,
It's weird because you think Cam is like he's such a like attractive guy, and you're like, oh, he's probably super like charismatic, and he is to a point, but just nothing. Quiet
No.
sucks.
quiet, very quiet.
Yeah.
But when we left off last week, we had Chelsea had won HOH and she had nominated who did she nominate? She nominated Chemo and Angela. It was a regular Big Brother. We are no longer in the AI arena. So it was regular 2 nominations.
Well, we got
And we
Janky. We got
not just
Janky.
yet, not just yet, not just yet. We see a veto win by Mackenzie. And Mackenzie decides, I'm going to make a move here with Chelsea, and I'm going to take Angela off the block for a third time this season. Pat, what was your reaction to this? And is
I,
Angela just mega minding us all?
you know what? I think she might be. It's getting to the point now where I'm like, okay, I guess Angela's a good player. I guess it's just like I can't imagine like I just don't see a world where she wins, but week in, week out, she wins the week every single week. No one's ever had the veto used on them 3 times. I don't think that was the right move on Chelsea, but she got fleeced because Angela just made up a lie. She was like, I think, with paranoia and all that's going on, all Angela had to do was just sprinkle a little misinformation, and Chelsea was like, "Yep, okay, cool. Let me do that." And then Mackenzie being like, "Well, and to Mackenzie's point, I guess that is a good move, but I was just like, wow, I did not see that. I mean, Angela's a liar. Why are we again? What she said was false, but Chelsea did know. Well, she was just like, okay, I'm going to take this for fact. Quinn is flipped again, which again, that does that is Quinn's fault because Quinn has absolutely no uh has lied this entire time, so I wouldn't trust him. So I get it. I just like I don't know. It seemed kind of crazy to me.
Yeah. Babe, have you been enjoying Angela this season?
No, not at all. But I mean, like Pat said, I guess at this point you can say she's good at the game. I mean, how can you not? but she's so toxic and she's a bully. I just don't like it. I really don't. She reminds me of my mom's toxic ex best friend.
We don't
She
like
was
her.
in the picture way too long.
Yeah,
Hopefully she's not subscribed.
hopefully.
I don't care if she is. Okay, you heard it
I,
here first. Okay.
I
Okay.
I think Angela is just it's probably an anomaly, especially in this season. I think Angela in any other season, I don't think people would tolerate number one her behavior, and she's just like she's again, like I've said, she's so unlikable. She's useful, and that is a crazy strategy that is working. Like regardless, like I don't like her, and she annoys the shit out of me, but it's working, and there
Right.
are benefits to keeping her.
Because hasn't she made comments like, come on, I'm easy, like I'm your shield.
Essentially, but she's so I mean, even in this upcoming HOH, I was just like, I
The
don't know
s'mores one?
the s'mores competition where she's like, I gave it to them. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, I can't. We'll get to that, but oh my goodness.
I feel like Chelsea was looking for a reason to get rid of Quinn here, and she did no kind of back, work with checking receipts. And I think she was just kind of looking for that little glimpse of, okay, this is going to justify me putting Quinn up
Yeah.
and sending him home. Whether that
Yeah.
was the right move strategically, I mean, results oriented, we know what's happened in this next week. I guess you could say, yeah,
I
but
mean, but I guess, but I just don't see a world like I think Quinn probably I think Quinn and Chelsea had a decent relationship, and I don't know if Quinn, if he would have won this week, would have went after her, And I mean, granted, thank God that I mean everything is 2020, but like I don't think Chelsea was at the top of Quinn's board, and so that's why I thought it's kind of a wild move, but I guess it did work out because this upcoming HOH was huge. But I don't know. I just but I'm also understanding that it's like I don't know if Chelsea and Quinn was not in Chelsea's long game, and I don't think vice versa. But I did think it was kind of wild to be like, all right, let me just take this shot right now. If I'm Chelsea and I'm trying to get the least amount of blood on my hands, then that's kind of a crazy move because now Leah, which I mean, thank God that Leah has to break up that block because Leah could have and she still can. She can very easily be like, you got out my number one ally, like I can put you up. That's a very good excuse. So I don't know. I guess it is. We'll have to wait and see, but I guess it did kind of work out for Chelsea.
yeah, I think it lets her effectively kind of play the middle for a couple of weeks now because Leah was somebody that, with Quinn leaving, was somebody probably that you would think would have nominated Chelsea, but she did not. So I mean, let's talk about Julie Chen being not in this past episode with the eviction and Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell makes a guest appearance.
Random.
I love him from Part of My Take. He's been
Yeah.
on the podcast like multiple times. It was kind of a wild thing to see him there, right?
I also like Jerry O'Connell. I think he's a fine person. Not a great. I just it felt
It fell short.
it was so different from
Yeah.
Julie. It was crazy, and it was like he kept being like, "Am I doing a good job?" And it's like, Derek, come on, just host the fucking show. I'm sure, like anyone, you can't fill the shoes of Julie, but I was just like, this is a random poll. I mean, it seems random.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He had his different creative take on it, and I respect him for that.
You know what? I feel like every time he was doing a line, but he was saying them as a question. Like every single line, he goes, "Gwen is here. Let's see what happens." And it's like, what we
Listen.
we don't know either. So you don't have to be like everything like everything's up with a love triangle, maybe, and this is happening. And it's like, Jerry, just
Maybe.
just read the fucking line. I don't know.
Babe, did you like Jerry O'Connell?
I don't mind him. I don't know. I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I mean, again, an impossible thing to do to replace Julie.
Yeah, I mean, I think we would criticize anybody that wasn't her.
Absolutely. So you know what? Hats off to Jerry for at least stepping up and trying
That's
to
big
do
dick energy.
big dick energy.
100%. And talking about big dick energy, how about Quinn? Quinn, his exit kind of leaves a little bit mad, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit of a little pissed.
Babe, if you were voted out of the Big Brother house and you thought that you had a week where people were going to keep you, similar to Quinn, how would you leave?
I mean, I would probably be a little better too. I mean, I think he acknowledged his game wasn't great, but I don't think that was the week he thought he was going to go, if he was going to go at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have said the same, but I'm just like petty. I don't know.
Think he would have dropped a couple F-bombs on the way out?
Probably 100%. You know, Bill's character
Yeah,
keeps getting and on
sure.
a high note. You know,
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do
I
you
got-
think about it, Duke? What would you have done?
I think Quinn shot himself in the foot way too many times to be that mad. And I think after a couple minutes, he kind of recognized that and was like, you know what? I wanted to play hard. I wanted to play fast, and I did that. I accomplished that. I made the jury. Um, and I think he was just there for a good time, and I think he got that. So
I mean, I would argue most men want to play hard and fast. Okay.
Ew. Ew.
and that's why you're on the pod, babe, for takes like that.
Things like that. Hard and fast.
Hot take. But I think his visceral reaction, yeah. But like, I think anybody's visceral reaction is kind of like,
Yeah.
He was blindsided.
Yeah. I think Quinn was a really, really bad strategic player. I think he was fun, and he just, for a super fan, played the game very poorly. But
took
he
out his
made
number 1 week and then himself.
it was
That's
crazy.
tough.
It's crazy. I just you couldn't trust him. Everything he said was borderline a lie, and he outed his alliance. So
He was too busy thinking about Leah.
and then he was sticking his neck out for Leah, and it's like, yeah, but that didn't really get you anywhere either. So
Do you think they're going to be a thing after the show?
no,
Absolutely not.
no.
We'll kick
No.
it away.
She knew she had both of them. She said it. She said,
Yeah.
I have them both wrapped around my finger, but it's more platonic.
Crazy.
Quinn is off to the jury chat, and we move into the next twist of Big Brother. We've been hinting at this twist in past episodes where, what about that one time that they just threw him out in the backyard, Dire Fest, and how bad that was. And they kind of ran it back, but they made it worse somehow, Pat. They said you can only eat pizza, you can only eat ice cream, and random dance parties all the time.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I didn't see that coming at all either. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe there's a twist. And then first of all, creepiest shot in Big Brother is when the fucking door's locking. And they're like,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what the fuck? But this is way worse than Dire Fest. To limit someone's food consumption to frozen pizzas and ice cream, and just showing how bad this actually is. And in LA, we were so I think the first day was the last day of this massive heat wave that we just had. So last week, literally all week was over 100 degrees, and now it's finally cooling down. So I think what we saw was the first 2 days, they're going to be in a heat wave, which was, if you were being outside all day, that's crazy. But even at when the sun set and it's supposed to get cooler, it was 95 almost
Oh my
100 degrees
God.
when the sun was gone. That's how hot it was here. It was ridiculous. So to be outside and to only be limited to frozen pizzas and ice cream, even when they were doing it, and I forget who said, I think it was Tico, was like, it's crazy. It's only been a day, and I was like, I thought you guys were out there for, based on how miserable they are, that was crazy.
Do you two things? And I noticed they only eat when they say it's time to eat because they're like, go make a pizza. Or do you have to eat when they say that?
I think you have to eat, or you have to like eat something when they say, but I think you can eat whenever.
It
But I
looks like
think
some domino shit too. Like it don't even look like it's good.
it does not. It does
Do
not.
you think that there would ever be a point, maybe it's like a little too in depth, but thinking too much into it, but would there ever be a point like how you say you're going through a heat wave? Would they ever be like, okay, this is unsafe for them? Or you don't think they care?
I mean, I think that if you offer them shade and they have the pool and stuff like that, but I don't know. It was fucking brutal out here for the last week, so I don't see a world where. I mean, I think they probably went out there like the last day or last 2 days. So I think
Still.
they realized, like, right now it's beautiful, but I just crazy that they're making them do that.
But
Yeah.
it's like T-Core is like, oh, I'm so hot. But then they'd be showing her in a robe and a blanket. So I'm like, girl, what? You're
Yeah,
not that hot. I
crazy.
don't know.
Crazy
Yeah,
twist
that's
there. And then they need to make their own HOH competition, and
Love that.
it is the old who can stand on the stump longer and hold a marshmallow to a platform. Um, Now this goes about almost 10 hours, and we see, one person drop out within 28 minutes. Some people made it to the 5 hour mark, and then we have, the final three contestants, and a little bit of a deal is made. Patrick, do you think that Angela making this deal did actually secure her safety would have secured her safety with Cam?
No, no, I don't. I think Cam would have said anything, and then Chelsea would have been like, put her the fuck up now, like if it came up to it. And I think yeah, I don't think that deal would have been any good if Cam won. Uh but maybe I don't know. But thank God Leah won. Because again, another week, Angela is just gonna coast right on by.
Yes.
how did you
Angela,
feel about sorry again.
no, go. What was your question, babe?
I was gonna say, and how did you feel about I mean I guess Cam was just over it, but him making that like, let's put our leg up. And then Chelsea was like, what are you doing? You're like making it, like giving it to her.
Because yeah, no, I thought that was kind of crazy because it from Chelsea's perspective, Cam is the only person that she can really trust, and she just let and Leah and Angela, she knows they're close.
Right.
So and Angela was on the wrong side of the vote, and so Leah and Angela both blindsided on Chelsea's HOH. If you're my ally and you're doing like, hey, let's make this harder for ourselves, it's like, dude, I completely agree. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like,
Right.
because in Chelsea's mind, she's like, I haven't had a conversation with Leah. We haven't talked game. I'm 100% going on the block because Cam wants to make it harder. So that's not a Cam has proven that he's not a good ally at all. And Chelsea had every right to be pissed. Thank God, Leah was like, let me go after the three. But like, if that wasn't the case, Chelsea's fucked. And it's kind of on Cam.
Yeah.
Guys, this past week and the week before, there's this narrative where we don't think that Cam is a good ally for Chelsea. We don't think that he's, putting her first. Is it on Cam to play that way where Chelsea is, his number one, or are we not giving him credit of kind of playing the way that he wants to play? Like he wants to flirt with the two girls, and he thinks that maybe that's a strategic move to get allies. Maybe he doesn't want to win this competition because he's made a deal and it allows him to play, another week of HOH, and he won't be nominated this week. Are we selling Cam's game a little short here? Because the I mean, the edit's not giving him any credit. It's giving Chelsea all the credit.
That is true, but I think it's not giving Cam credit because I think it's tough to see Cam. Like, I don't know what kind of player Cam is. You know, from what I've seen, he's proven to be kind of like, let me just piss in the wind. I'll do my thing. When I have this person that does look out for me, and I do think that, Cam should play however he wants. But if he has a solid two and a final two with Chelsea, I just don't think it's a good move. I do get the point of like he made a deal, so he's safe. Let me do that. But I think it was if you were HOH Duke and we were a final two, like I'm not gonna put you at risk because you got a bunch of blood on your hands. I'm gonna win this for us,
Right.
because you're my final two, and so I don't know. I think at this point, if you are going to ride with somebody, you got to do everything in your best interest to protect them. And then when you make a move like that, it just kind of shows it's like that reads, I think. And that's how Chelsea read it was like, listen, I'm sticking my neck out for you. Don't blow this HOH because from her perspective, she's going up. So,
Right.
I mean, I think a little bit more awareness from Cam would show that he's a better player. But I do get that point, dude. I do get your point of like now he gets to play in the next week. So
He gets to play in the next week. I mean, I think I don't know. I just feel like we're selling Cam a little short too. We're selling him maybe just a little too short. He doesn't say much, and I get that. But Chelsea also kind of blindsided him on the Joseph vote. She's playing her own game in that regard. Maybe he's just playing his own game in his regard, and you know, maybe they don't agree on everything, but it's interesting. So Leah is the one to win her first HOH, and are you surprised just basically that Leah ends up going with the nominees that she goes with Rubina and Chemo? Or do you think that it's an oversight? She should have went after Chelsea.
I think for right now, it was an okay move. I mean, they have the majority vote if they weren't put up. So it kind of would have been them controlling the vote if it wasn't one of them. So I mean, I see why. Yeah, I mean, I think it was reasonable.
Yeah. It just seemed like it was so cut and dry. It seemed like obviously if you
Well, the
weren't in
game's kind of dwindling down. I mean, you don't have a whole lot of options anymore.
you don't. But a firm three is tough with only 8 people left. But
Right.
I mean, on the other side, Mackenzie, Cam, Chelsea, that's kind of a 3 as well, and they're much better at competitions than the other 3.
Is it a 3 though? I don't think Chelsea wants it to be a 3. I think Chelsea wants a chocolate 2. Okay.
I mean,
And
say less, baby.
yeah, I don't think she wants. Do you think Matt's at home jealous?
Matt?
Yeah. Like she be rubbing up on him and shit.
I don't think Matt really cares much.
That was his girl for like a week.
He fell in love. Hey, Mackenzie, I just think that you're really attractive.
No, but I don't think that Chelsea would be working with MJ if it wasn't for Cam. I think they just have a weird love triangle going on, and it happens to make them kind of an alliance.
I think Mackenzie's just kind of had power when Chelsea had power. So like because we've seen them kind of get together a little bit too. So I do see the 3. Duke, what do you think about the move?
Thinking about that move, I think that Leah could have maybe played the middle even more, played the middle again like Chelsea could have, and not went after the 3. Because if she goes after people like the other people that aren't like a tight 3, like Mackenzie or basically Cam, Chelsea, some of those people, I think that it leaves the three in the game, and somebody's going to have to do it. Somebody's going to have to do it the next week, or it's Gonzo. But I think that really socially, and you're out in the backyard, and you don't really have that much room to talk to people. It was really the only thing she could have done.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be pissed if I was finally HOH and it's a week where you can't even have a cool room.
No, it
Sucks,
sucks.
right?
I saw she still got like pictures and stuff though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
They should have let her inside. She should have been the only one that could be
Oh,
inside.
that was cool.
But then it's like bittersweet because then you're missing out on outside conversations.
That looks pretty. That looks pretty brutal. You're like, all right, guys,
It
I'm gonna
does.
HOH. You guys have fun.
Right.
Let her
Right.
be inside, and then she has the power of people coming inside whenever she wants, but only 2 people at a time for 1 hour.
That seems a little complicated.
That's a lot.
But to go back on Leah's nominations, I do think it was the right move. I get that point of like trying to play the middle a little bit more, but based on the conversation she had with like Chemo and I believe Rabina, it's tough to see. Like if I'm Leah, it's tough to see myself in that 3 at all. Like It's like I think it's very clear they have each other. They will do anything for each other. With Mackenzie, and she has Angela, like Leah has Angela. So I think if I'm Leah, it's like that's a solid 3. Chelsea, Cam, and Mackenzie, I think are a little bit more malleable.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of going after those 3, like I could see Mackenzie, flipping on Cam and Chelsea, or I can see, Chelsea being like, hey, I gotta get to the end. If it's with, Leah and Angela, I mean, that seems pretty good, So I think she sees the other 3 as a little bit more like a pathway. It's like with the other 3, it's like I will always be at the bottom. Like I'm always at a disadvantage if I go with them because I only have Angela and they have each other.
It also opens one of them leaving this week opens the remaining duo as people that you can work with probably now.
Absolutely.
Right.
So yeah, I think probably the right move actually, now that we're talking about it. From just a show perspective, what do you guys want to happen? Do you want Chemo to leave? Do you want Rubina to leave? Do you want one of them to come off with the veto and probably T-Core to go up and leave? What do you guys want to happen?
Yeah, I think if I'm Leah, like I would probably like to see I like all of them, but I think T-Core has the best chance to win. I think she's playing a very, very smart game. So if I'm Leah and if
hasn't touched the block yet.
Hasn't touched the block. Everyone loves her. If I'm Leah, regardless of if one of them wins, you have to hope that T-Core doesn't win. I'm just hoping T-Core doesn't play in the HOH or play in the veto. It gets used and you put her up. The worst case is T-Core wins and takes one of them off, and now you gotta, which I don't know. And it's also the target always flips. You never know. I mean, that's the exciting part of this game, but this season especially. But if I'm Leah, I want T-Core to go.
Do you agree with that, babe?
I do. I see what Pat's saying. I do. I also think Chemo is a little more dangerous. People realize, especially with that speech he made and was able to sway 2 people's votes with his sob story. So I don't know. I think that's a silent sleeper there.
That's a good point.
He survived the block.
He's a good talker.
Yeah.
He's a good talker. Yeah, his resume looks pretty good. For not really doing. Has he won anything?
He won 1 AI arena.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Yeah. For being on the block as much as he was and like not really winning any vetoes or head of household, I think he's a good talker.
Yeah.
But it's like a sob story. Like, cut the shit. Everyone's got something, okay?
Duke, what do you want? Who do you think?
Who do I think?
Who do you think? What do you think the move is?
I think that if T-Core is on the block, then whoever she's on the block with will go home, unfortunately, because I think her social game is just too good. For people probably trust her, even though she's in a known trio.
Yeah.
And I think Rubina is gonna leave.
Yeah.
I think she's just not as I think the beginning stages of the game being so connected to Tucker, I think you miss out on some of those like social connections with people and bonding when you're in like a showman's kind of thing. And I think that that's going to kind of bite her in the ass here if it remains on the block.
Yeah. That's fair. That's a good point.
So
Yeah.
I
yeah,
could see that.
who do you at this point? Who's going to win the game, guys?
Chelsea.
I would say Chelsea. I could see a path for T-Core if she survives. T-Core, Chelsea, or I think my dark horse, Chemo.
Little dark
Yeah.
horse. Sprinkle it on the money line.
My real, I mean, put Mackenzie in there because that's the shot in the dark. Maybe that happens.
Listen, I could see almost everybody except for Cam and Angela making a good case to win this game at this point.
I
I
think
think
so.
Quinn leaving kind of breaks it wide open. Tucker, Quinn kind of
I
breaks
think
it
so.
wide open. Yeah.
Here's my prediction. Being outside, I think with the pressure of what's happening, I think Angela will blow up and or piss someone off enough that she will be the target next week.
Okay. Hot take. I like that.
That's my prediction.
I don't see how that doesn't happen.
I don't, that's a good see.
These are not.
Dude, if you think she's an asshole, like inside with all the amenities, just wait.
I'll say something. I think, an Angela Cam final two, Angela winning in a
What a
4-3
sick
vote.
joke.
Angela winning in a 4-3 vote. Sprinkle that on the money line.
That would.
That's plus 1100, I think.
Also,
right
did we talk about OTEV?
OTEV, yeah, the competition OTEV. First time in history. First time in history that OTEV was won on one round.
Imagine production setting that entire thing up, spending hours on it. Probably the most complicated game.
Yeah.
In setup, and they're there for 15 minutes.
Did you guys get that first question right too?
I did not.
I did not.
That's crazy. Wasn't that? That was crazy pull.
I know. That shocked me. That's probably one of the biggest shocks of the season.
Shock was, I mean, that was a historic episode. OTEV, 1 round, Angela game pulled off for the third time.
Is that a record? I feel like that must have been a record.
I think that's the first time that's ever happened.
And every single veto has been used this season.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that.
Babe, did you want to close us out with the JANKIE theme song?
I don't remember it.
Pat, do you remember it?
Like JANKIE, you love me.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rest.
Listen, guys, this has been so much fun. Babe,
I think there's going to be another AI twist. I don't know what it is, but I think there will be one this week.
What do you think it's going to be?
Not going to say anymore.
You know what it is because you probably were
I know
Googling.
what it is.
You were Googling.
I wasn't Googling.
I saw your eyes go. I saw your eyes going off to the side.
Did you spoil?
No, I'm playing solitaire. No, I keep getting. I'm somehow I keep getting on these Facebook pages now, the same ones you're on, Duke, and Reddit tells me. So I already know. who wins veto and everything, but I think there's another twist. I don't know what it is though.
Babe, it's crazy that you keep begging to get on the pod every week, and now you're playing solitaire mid pod.
Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Move.
You
I'm
might
sorry, I'm
you
just so
might miss out on
tired. I'm just
you
so
might
tired.
you might miss out on your cameo on BB27. I think
This is
suspension.
just too. This is just too late to be doing a pot. I'm tired.
Never too late, baby. That's what I say.
It is too late. It's
Play the game before the
10:15.
game plays you.
Okay.
Guys, it's been so much fun talking with you about BB26. Babe, as always, you getting on the pod once a year. It means the world to me. Thank you so much.
That's
for
shady. I
fill-
guess I'm not getting a second invite this year. Shit.
Maybe
I can't get a biannual.
biannual. We'll see when the next one is. But guys, so much fun. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, dude.